Have you ever looked around your workplace and wondered what truly drives the people you interact with every day? Do you aspire to be a more influential leader, someone who effortlessly inspires others to perform at their best? If so, you're in the right place. In this summary of Give and Take by Adam Grant, you'll uncover why some individuals thrive on generosity while others prioritize personal gain. This book explores three fundamental personality types that shape workplace dynamics: givers, takers, and matchers. Understanding these traits can significantly enhance your leadership skills, strengthen team morale, and boost overall success. By the end, you'll learn how to effectively motivate different types of employees, foster better collaboration, and make smarter hiring decisions. Get ready for an insightful journey that could transform how you perceive your colleagues and yourself. The strategies you're about to discover have the potential to elevate your career and propel your team to new heights. Let's dive in. The key to success: more than just talent and luck. What do the most successful individuals have in common? Many would argue that motivation, talent, and luck are the driving forces behind their achievements. While these elements certainly play a role, Give and Take reveals another crucial factor: how people interact and communicate with others. In any workplace, understanding the balance between giving and taking is essential. Takers are highly competitive, prioritizing their own success above all else. They view life as a race where they must stay ahead of others. Givers, in contrast, focus on helping others, often without expecting anything in return. These individuals are relatively rare in many professional environments. Matchers, on the other hand, believe in fair exchanges. If they do a favor, they expect one in return. All three personality types, givers, takers, and matchers, can achieve success in both business and life. However, when givers succeed, it often stands out because their generosity creates a ripple effect. Their success benefits not only themselves but also those around them. The power of giving, a real-world example. Consider two entrepreneurs, Danny and David, watching a sports game with their daughters one Saturday. Both are highly accomplished, yet their approaches to business differ significantly. Danny, an internet entrepreneur, enjoys launching new ventures and is preparing to start his fourth company. He is actively seeking investors. David, also successful, takes a different path. He invests in promising startups, using his financial success to support emerging entrepreneurs. In the framework of give and take, David exemplifies the giver mindset. During the game, Danny shares an exciting business idea and suggests meeting later to discuss a potential investment. When they meet, David is impressed by Danny's vision and provides him with a document outlining investment terms. Aware that Danny is exploring other options, David sets a deadline for a decision. However, rather than pressuring Danny, he also shares references for 14 entrepreneurs he has worked with in the past, demonstrating both transparency and generosity. Later, Danny decides to partner with a different investor. He admits that, while he respects David, he worries that David's generosity might make him too lenient and less likely to push him toward greater innovation. However, after finalizing the deal, Danny feels uneasy. He genuinely liked David and regrets missing the opportunity to collaborate with him. Taking a bold step, Danny invites David to join his company anyway, offering him a small stake in the business. Once they begin working together, Danny realizes that David's kindness is not a weakness. Instead, David is both supportive and driven, challenging Danny in ways he hadn't initially recognized. This example highlights a common misconception: many assume givers are too soft to thrive in competitive environments. However, David proves that generosity can be a powerful asset. His willingness to help others builds a strong reputation and a network of allies who, in turn, advocate for him. As a result, givers often unlock greater opportunities for long-term success. Ultimately, being a giver isn't just about doing favors, it's about cultivating meaningful connections that create lasting professional and personal growth. It's about fostering genuine relationships, sharing success, and creating an environment where everyone can thrive. When you help others, they remember your kindness and are more likely to support you in the future. That's the real power of being a giver. The ripple effect. Previously, we explored three types of people you're likely to encounter in the workplace: takers, givers, and matchers. Some takers can appear to be genius creators, focusing intensely on their own success by tapping into other people's energy and intelligence. In contrast, there are genius makers, the givers, who encourage those around them to become more capable, confident, and innovative. Takers, the genius types, tend to generate new ideas that sometimes challenge their superiors or upend the status quo. They usually aren't concerned about being criticized and don't shy away from risky moves if it means achieving their personal goals. Givers, the genius makers, on the other hand, devote themselves to helping others succeed. Yet in doing so, they also help themselves. By putting team success first, they develop a reputation that's hard to beat. Rather than viewing their collaborative approach as a weakness, givers see it as the secret behind an organization's bigger wins. Research shows that when givers are on a team, both the quality and quantity of the team's output tend to improve. Studies even suggest that givers are more likely to earn promotions than takers, as their supportive behavior often attracts positive recognition and broad networks. If you find yourself leaning more toward a taker mindset, but want to adopt a giver's approach, start by acknowledging and appreciating the contributions of your colleagues or partners. Takers often rely primarily on themselves, focusing on what they bring to the table. By learning to notice what others do and voicing your gratitude, you'll realize how much effort they invest. This shift in perspective encourages you to value your entire team's hard work, helping foster a more collaborative and productive environment for everyone. Finding the diamond in the rough. Spotting talent in others is an art in itself. When you're looking for the next great addition to your team, it helps to consult someone who's a giver, someone who genuinely wants to help and has an eye for potential. Givers have a knack for discovering hidden strengths in the people around them, often identifying rising stars long before anyone else. Matchers can also encourage others to reach their full potential, but they tend to wait until they're asked for help. While givers proactively offer their support, matchers stand by until someone requests their insight. Takers, on the other hand, rarely see others' talents at all. They tend to be suspicious of people's intentions, viewing the world as a highly competitive place where only they deserve to win. Consequently, takers often ignore or even feel threatened by other people's abilities, making them less likely to nurture a budding superstar on their team. A great real-world example involves President Barack Obama and his favorite app. When asked about it, he gave a surprising answer: iReggie. But iReggie wasn't actually a digital application. Rather, it was a playful nickname for Reggie Love, his personal assistant. Reggie Love had started his career as an athlete, excelling at football and basketball. When his NFL tryouts didn't pan out, he shifted gears to politics. He landed a position in Obama's mailroom. Within a year, he became Obama's personal assistant. Drawing on his athletic background, Reggie could work 18-hour days under intense pressure while staying remarkably efficient. Like a true diamond in the rough, his talent and grit shone through, and Obama came to rely on him for nearly everything. Around the same time, Beth, who was also from North Carolina, discovered her own hidden potential despite having always struggled with numbers. When she prepared for her public accountant exam, she felt sure she would fail. A mother working full-time, she was already juggling multiple responsibilities. Then, just days before the exam, her children fell ill. Overwhelmed, Beth even had a panic attack on test day, yet she miraculously passed with honors, earning a gold medal for her outstanding performance. The connection between Reggie and Beth, two unlikely high achievers, was C.J. Skender, a college professor with a keen ability to spot potential in others. As a true giver, Skender believed in Reggie and Beth when they didn't believe in themselves. Both went on to accomplish more than they ever imagined, largely because someone recognized their talents early on and encouraged them to develop those gifts. This story shows how takers, who are too focused on their own achievements, often miss the opportunity to discover and nurture hidden talent in their teams. Givers, by contrast, excel at identifying and supporting people's strengths. They see beyond immediate skill sets and invest in others' growth, creating a ripple effect of success. Being a giver doesn't just help those around you. It can also lead to the discovery of true diamonds in the rough whose potential might otherwise remain hidden. The power of powerless communication. One of the core secrets to running a successful business is mastering the art of selling, a skill that hinges on your ability to inspire people to believe in your product or idea. To achieve this, you can either project enough power to dominate others or earn genuine respect that allows you to influence them in a positive way. Takers often try to show how powerful they are. They speak with great confidence, adopting an authoritative tone that can sometimes come across as intimidating. They don't hesitate to say no forcefully, use assertive body language, or even threaten to prove their dominance. While this powerful style may work temporarily, it's not sustainable in the long run. If a taker encounters someone even more powerful, their confidence can crumble. By contrast, givers rely on respect and humility, qualities that tend to have a longer-lasting impact. They communicate without threats or coercion, expressing their thoughts in a way that encourages an open exchange of ideas. Givers also listen attentively and strive to truly understand other perspectives. They may appear soft or vulnerable, but they don't hide these traits. Instead, they use them to build trust and authentic connections. Consider the example of Dave, known as one of the most successful young lawyers in Pennsylvania. In February 2008, he was hired by a castor oil company to represent them in a dispute with their Indian supplier. This supplier had abruptly decided to stop collaborating with the castor oil company to pursue its own independent business. Worse, the supplier was trying to steal the company's trade secrets by recruiting some of its employees to leak confidential information and client lists. Dave's job was to protect the castor oil company's interests and file a lawsuit against the rival. He built a strong case against the employees who were betraying their employer, arguing passionately in court. However, he noticed the judge seemed skeptical, possibly favoring the Indian firm, which the judge believed was just trying to expand its business. After careful deliberation, the jury ultimately ruled in Dave's favor, resulting in a $7 million settlement, one of the largest sums ever awarded to a lawyer in Pennsylvania. Surprised by this turn of events, Dave asked the judge what influenced the verdict. It turned out that Dave's stutter, instead of harming his credibility, actually made him more compelling in the eyes of the jury. They saw how resolute and confident he was despite that vulnerability, and this humanized him. Because his weakness was visible, people felt connected to him on a deeper level and respected the strength it took to advocate so effectively. This story highlights the true power of powerless communication. While being strong and assertive has its place, genuinely inspiring people is far more enduring. When you lead with humility, empathy, and respect, you foster a connection that intimidation can never achieve. Ultimately, that's what creates lasting influence and meaningful success. The art of motivation, maintenance. Because takers only look out for themselves, they don't spend energy helping others. They remain focused on their own gains and success. A giver, on the other hand, thinks about everyone else first, and only then about their own needs. As a result, givers can become overextended and exhausted. Some are selfless givers, so busy prioritizing others that they neglect their own well-being. For example, studies show that selfless givers might sometimes fail exams because they forego their own study time to help a friend. This constant giving can lead to mental and physical stress. The key for selfless givers is to realize that taking care of themselves is not selfish. Helping others is a wonderful trait, but finding a healthy balance between supporting others and maintaining personal well-being is crucial. A telling case comes from a call center at Havner University, pseudonym used here. The director struggled to keep the staff motivated when it came to soliciting donations from alumni. Each caller was required to ask for a donation at least 3 times per call, and they weren't allowed to hang up until all 3 requests had been made, even if the person on the other end showed no interest. This job was tough because about 90% of calls ended in rejection. Exhausted by constant refusals, many callers felt demoralized. One caller confessed that they dreaded calling people, knowing most of them would hang up almost immediately. Observers noticed something surprising in the team's performance data. Takers averaged around 30 donations per week. Givers averaged only about 10. It was unexpected because people assumed givers, being empathetic, would excel. Instead, givers felt underappreciated. They saw how often they were dismissed or cut off, which made them think their work was pointless. Meanwhile, tankers stayed motivated by their paychecks. As long as they earned a good salary, they brushed off the rejections and kept pushing. In an effort to boost morale, some of the callers were asked to read letters from students who directly benefited from the donations, students whose scholarships were funded by this very call center's work. One student wrote, "Attending this university has always been my dream, but tuition is extremely high." They went on to say, "Because of this scholarship, I can finally pursue my goals." When givers read these letters, they realized that their job truly mattered. Far from being pointless, their efforts could help countless students reach their dreams. This knowledge reawakened their motivation, reminding them that maintaining a balance between caring for others and valuing one's own well-being is the real key to staying inspired and helping others in a sustainable way. Chump change. Sometimes, being a giver can backfire. People may start taking advantage of your kindness, especially if you're overly trusting. In some cases, you might even feel betrayed, which can be very painful. To avoid getting used or deceived, it's crucial to adopt a smart approach to giving, helping others without losing sight of your own boundaries. It's easy to run into the wrong kind of people. You might mistake a taker for a giver and trust them blindly only to realize too late that their friendliness was just an act. Takers often pretend to be helpful or generous, hiding their real intentions until they've gotten what they want. We tend to remember those who help us as good people forever, and those who harm us as bad, no matter how they might change over time. That's why you should really get to know someone before deciding whether they're genuinely kind. In some situations, even givers can act selfishly, while takers might appear caring. So givers need to watch out for fake givers and stay cautious around takers who might cause harm. Let's look at Lillian, a very talented Harvard graduate who was preparing for her MBA. A consulting firm hired her, and she quickly earned respect. Within 6 months, she was set to become a partner. As a manager, she excelled, and her bosses were proud of her. However, word got around that she was extremely warm-hearted and willing to help people far beyond her job description. This reputation for boundless generosity backfired. Every time a promotion came up, it went to someone else. Realizing she was being taken for granted, Lillian began learning to say no. Before others could exploit her further, she tried to rein in her overly giving nature. Initially, she never refused anyone seeking help or a loan. She even joined an organization for social work, carving time out of her busy schedule to assist others, sometimes at the cost of her own tasks. Unfortunately, she never became a partner at her firm. Her bosses felt she lacked the toughness needed to climb higher. They bluntly told her that if she wanted a promotion, she'd have to be more selfish. But acting selfish or overly strict wasn't in Lillian's nature. She took genuine pleasure in helping people. Yet, as a manager, you sometimes need to be firm to get the best out of employees. If a manager is too soft, the team might never push itself to deliver 100%. It's this inherent challenge that often makes managerial roles tough for pure-hearted givers. In the end, Lillian, lacking smart giving skills, faced unfair treatment and eventually lost her job. Her story highlights the importance of balancing kindness with self-protection. If you don't want to end up like Lillian, strive to be a smart giver. Help others, but set limits. Being generous is a wonderful trait, but it can become a curse if you can't maintain boundaries. Learn when to be giving and when to stand your ground. Beware of those who repeatedly take from you without giving anything back. And remember that kindness paired with discernment is the best way to protect both your heart and your success. Conclusion. In Give and Take, Adam Grant explores the different types of people we encounter in our daily lives. He categorizes them into 3 groups: givers, takers, and matchers, each with distinct characteristics and approaches to work and relationships. Here are some key insights from the summary. 1. 3 types of employees. Givers prefer to help others, often putting their colleagues' needs first. Takers focus on their own interests and gains. Matchers balance between giving and taking, aiming for fair reciprocity. 2. Helping yourself by helping others. When you act as a giver, you not only support those around you, but also boost your own reputation. Over time, your goodwill can open new opportunities for personal and professional growth. 3. Identifying hidden talent. Givers often excel at spotting talented people and helping them reach their potential, thereby uplifting both individuals and the organization. 4. Respect over power. True inspiration doesn't come from intimidating or overpowering others. It comes from earning their respect. As a giver, your empathy and support can establish a positive reputation and help you lead more effectively. 5. Motivation varies. Takers respond to incentives that benefit them directly. They need to see personal gain. Givers are motivated by how their contributions improve others' lives. Showing them the real-world impact of their efforts fuels their passion. Overall, this summary highlights the benefits of being a giver and shows that you can support others while also protecting your own interests. If you aspire to become a source of inspiration and aim for great heights in your career or personal life, adopting a giver's mindset, caring not just for yourself, but for the people around you can make all the difference. Thank you for listening to this summary of Give and Take by Adam Grant.